Hi, Julia. It's Wednesday over here as I'm making this video, so happy Halloween. Thank you so much for your poems this week. I wanted to dive right in, but I had a question for you, which was, I was looking at your questions and I noticed that you asked for your questions what literary devices were used for both of your poems. And I'm wondering I'm wondering where you came to that question because I guess the point of me having you ask questions to your classmates and to me is so that we can give you really valuable feedback. Feedback that works for you, that can help you to revise your poems or make you feel like you're in less of a vacuum all by yourself writing, which so often we as writers do feel that way. So asking what literary devices were used is kind of like, I don't know, it's a great teaching question. So I appreciate it because it gets people thinking about, what literary devices are and how they can be used. But I'm kind of wondering if you might want to lean towards questions that would be more specific to helping you feel less alone as a writer and also about your specific poems. So, what I mean by that is, one of the things you do use is onomatopoeia, and I think it functions really well in this poem. But if you were wondering about that, you could ask a question such as, did you notice the lines that use onomatopoeia in my poem, and did it work for you? Did you think it was too heavy-handed, or maybe it wasn't quite enough? That kind of a thing is what I'm leaning towards. I hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, feel free to email me and we can have a clarifying conversation. But I will say one of the things that I really, really enjoyed about your poem was your use of onomatopoeia. So I love the ha ha ha, hem, ah, sizzle, fizz, slurp, beep, beep. I love all of that. I think it works really, really well. I also think that I think about being in a fast food restaurant and that is what the experience feels right? That rapid pace. And that sort of overwhelming stimulation of sound, especially if it's busy and there's a lot of people there. And that is what the poem made me feel as the reader too um, is just that sort of overwhelming feeling, overstimulated feeling of being in a restaurant with lots of noises, lots of sounds, lots of different people. When the workday ends. I love that you traced the Shel Silverstein poem. That's so cool. I don't think I've had a student trace a Shel Silverstein poem before, so I was really excited to see that. Um, and you asked, so I already addressed your first question, but does the poem closely trace the original poem? Yeah, it does. And yeah, it was the intention of the assignment, so I'm not quite sure what that question was for either. But hopefully, earlier in this video, I was able to clarify that for you and that was helpful. And if it's not, be in touch. Okay, I hope you're well. Have a very happy Halloween.